into that and then this, or finish with?
Okay, just to back up a little bit, obviously Misty's got something like 13 emails that she sends to the girls that are new girls, right? 20? Okay, 20 emails that she sends to the girls. So what she does is she has a folder that says new consultants, and that's where all
recruits.
those letters are, just like you've saved, so that you know that they're there. And that's what you do. Now, in terms of finding that person that you sent to, you go and you click on her name, and then you hit on your computer, instead of it being by date, it's by person. And all of the emails to that person will come up. So you don't have to search through hundreds of emails
or you can just
to find her.
At the top, I know at mine it says a search.
You could
just
type
I'll write in like
type
Jennifer,
in her name,
and then anybody's
all
name
emails
Jennifer
will come up.
Yeah.
Which is great. Yeah. So it's
That's
an easy, it's just, once you do it a couple times, it's like, oh gosh, this is so simple. I can find it just like that.
Yeah.
Okay? All right, so let's go back to your whiteboard.
Okay, so the dry erase board. So again, recruit leads. So shows, Kijiji, Facebook, yours and staff's, any sort of even cold recruits. If they're a recruit lead, they're on that column. The middle of the column is on deck. So those are people that, ladies that they've either got or have their training materials and or booked their debut show. So you would have their name, like the new recruit lead's name, plus the recruiter's name and the date of their debut. This is just me being organized because I need to know, all of that. And then the last one on the right-hand side is the first, I read on the top, first 6 shows. So those are names of ladies within their qualification period. So I don't know if they can see.
It's okay. Just an idea.
Okay,
really
so yeah, just so you guys can see. Okay, so
just do it for these guys.
Okay, so yeah, you'll have your recruit leads. So I'll have my recruit leads. So these are all my recruit leads that are mine or the staff's, just from Facebook, from shows, whenever. On deck, so materials or debut. So I have all these people's names are their debut dates. So, look, Laura's debut show is January the 8th, and I don't have her name, but Maddie is her recruiter, so I put Maddie there. Me, I put Diana, December 5th, her debut, me. So, I'll know who's the recruiter, so I can keep track of it, and then their debut date, and then who's within their first 6 shows. So those are the people you're mostly working with. And then once they're off the board, then it's like, okay, who's next, right? So you're not always, still working on those people once they're not like you don't ignore them, but you know what I mean? They're not as, they don't need as much time with you because
you started them off right.
Yeah. And then I have my kit releases whiteboard, and this is I have the month, the example, and then the number, the list who is expecting to get a kit, and then their name, and then the date that they got their kit, and then an upcoming month. So for example, I'm sorry, it kind of washed off on the ride up here, but I'll have my kits, so November. So I had Tina got hers November 11th, Maddie got hers November 3rd, Carrie November 2nd, Arlene November 19th, Keely November 2nd, Val November 23rd, Sandra November 23rd, right? So I'll have all the dates. And as you can see here, I had 15 expected for this month. And you can see when they don't actually start, I'll erase their things. So when it doesn't start, it might either means that they had their debut and it didn't qualify, or they just didn't want to start anymore. Or what happens sometimes is, for example, like Diana, her debut show was supposed to be November, and I was sick, so it had to get changed to the week after, which then ended up being December. So now she's into December for her kit release, right? Or it might be somebody that debuts the last week of that month, right, which you're hoping their kit comes out that month, but it might not, so they go back into the next month, right? And then I might have now this time of year I don't usually have 3 months, but for now this time of year I have my January, so who am I expecting? I have to update this. I've been sick this week, so I haven't updated it exactly, but you guys get the picture, right? So then I would have that. And then what I've started doing now is also, for this one, I have my recruit leads, but then I have also my upcoming manager leads. So I'll have my so if I know for sure somebody wants management, I'll put them up here, and then those are people that I'm working with for management. So those are my next 4 upcoming managers that I'm also working with. Okay, so the reason why I have 2 months for, say, November, December is because that you have some ladies debuting the last week of the month, so they may get their kit in the last week of the first month of the next month. So to keep up with your monthly goals, you have to keep all of that in consideration. I need to see everything, as I'm very visual, and I feel the system also works. works great, but also remember to increase your success rate, you must double your failure rate. So, for example, when I have a list of kits released 1 through 10, and there are 2 or 3 that got erased as they did not qualify to get their kit, I'm not focused on the 2 or 3 that didn't get their kits, I'm focused on the ones who did. So you guys saw, like, I had 10 kits released this month, but I had 15, so I had 15 that were scheduled, so I had 5 that didn't start. Okay, so I'm not, like, crying about the 5 people that didn't start.
Right.
Who's next? Okay, so your office and your workplace needs to consistently keep you motivated. I have my vision board, which I see each day. My board consists of 4 corkboard squares. I just got them from Walmart, and they were like $10. They're a little bit bigger than this paper. They probably go to here, and they have little stickies on the back, and you just stick them. And I wanted it in my bathroom, and Paul wouldn't let me because I'm always in the bathroom. So I'm like, oh, that'd be so perfect, getting ready, and you're like, and he's like, no, it's ugly. You can't go in there. I was so close. I even put it behind the door so he wouldn't see it. But he found it. So I had to move it to my office. So I have 4 corkboard squares. So my first one is about fun. So I have pictures of like me and Paul, me and my friends. I love the beach in summertime, so I have like, summertime stuff, just relaxing. Another corkboard is about my lifestyle. So I'll have like my hot yoga, eating healthy, things like that. Things that I try to do, or anything. It could be about your lifestyle. And then I also have a couple quotes. So some of the girls were asking me what my quotes were. You guys can obviously find your own that connect with you, but mine is risk more than others think is safe, care more than others think is wise, dream more than others think is practical, and expect more than others think is possible. And courage does not always roar. Sometimes it's the quiet voice at the end of the day saying, I will try again tomorrow. I have pictures of places that I want to go. So I have pictures of the Caribbean cruise. I've had that up forever. So I have that one, and contests and things like that. And then I have another board for my Alouette career. So I have my 10 breakaway managers. So I just basically write, I'll have a piece of paper and I'll write out my goal and I'll stick that up there. It doesn't have to be fancy. So my 10 breakaway managers, my $5,000 bonus check. My Alouette money is allowing me to save for my new car that I want. So I have a picture of my new car that I want. I have a picture of my wedding cake that I want to start saving for wedding, things like that. And then my other board is my yearly goals, so like 30 qualified recruits. So I have pictures of my girls on my team at monthly meetings ripping up their security deposit. Because I remember one of my goals when I a couple years ago, I was number 2 for all of Canada, and I would have been number 1 if like 2 or 1 of my girls qualified, and I was like, that sucks. So the next year, I was like, everyone's qualifying. So I had a picture of my vision board of all the girls, ripping up their security deposits. So it's just a visual thing. So your vision is yours, and put on your dreams and your goals, and no one can tell you what you want or what you should do. And don't be afraid to change it or alter your goals. I mean, throughout this whole year, I've had a picture of a $3,000 check, and then I went over 3,000. I went over to 4,000. So then I put on 5,000, and then today it'll be higher than 5,000. So it's so funny. I tell Paul, I'm like, whatever I put on my vision board just like comes true. It's magic. It's true.
It's a lot of hard work on your part, and it's
But
having a
it's
goal.
funny.
It's the power of a goal and working hard.
So teaching your own team members, maybe this should be the next segment.
Okay.
It'll be like the
All right.
next one.
Do you have how much money you want to make up on a board or anything, or just the bonus checks?
Yeah, I have $100,000.
$100,000 for earnings in